sidekick from San Antonio, Lou Hauser. I think you can tell that the people enjoyed what you did.
Well, we're delighted. Thank you.
And we are very proud to have Lee and Randy. All of you know Lee and Randy. On the team, we'd like to have them here every night. Thank you, guys. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
By the way, if you're going to be in Manhattan next December, Tom Perini is going to be chefing at the Beard House for the second time. His first appearance there was sold out in about 3 hours, so they decided to invite him back next December. And I'm thinking about going.
I hope you don't wear that hat.
This is one of my very favorite birthday presents. And all we once were. We're now a legend, you know. We're not now, we're just a legend. Anyway, this is a time of day when some of the people here become motivated to come up and take this microphone and work with Hank and our friend Bill Powell from the Alisal Ranch. And Marcy, you're the mistress of song. Would you come up and start us off? This lady has been giving me birthday parties since I was 30 years old. And I can never thank her enough. And I can never thank all of you for coming. You know, in the days past, I could take a birthday or leave it. You know, it was a nice thing. But when you get into the fourth quarter, it becomes very important. Right, Lynn?
We don't intend to leave any birthdays.
All right, well listen, we're going to have some fun now, and don't let all this inhibit you. Marcy?
Is that my wine glass?
You want your wine
You got your wine glass.
In the fall, I love Paris. In the winter, when it's Christmas, I love Paris. In the summer, when it's sizzles, I love Paris every moment.
To do that tonight. Bill's been kind enough, you know, to do a little recording for Fess, and he caught me off guard too, believe me. But he loves music, and I'm delighted that he did so. Thank you, darling. Love you. I have to say one thing before I start tonight. I had word that some of my friends were really jumping the gun on me. We had a wonderful time here a few weeks ago, and all of a sudden I called Bill and I'm saying, Bill, I need to work with you. But Bill said, gee, Marcy, I'm so busy, I don't have time. I've got all these other people, you know, who want to rehearse for your party. Falling in love is really grand. Since you took it right on the chin, you have lost that bright toothpaste grin. My mental state is all a jumble. I sit around and sadly mumble. Fools rush in, yet here I am, very glad to be unhappy. I can't win, yet here I am, more than glad to be unhappy. Unrequited love's a bore.
song sheet.
Cheryl, you have to move over.
You have to move over.
Yeah, to your right. Great. So we can all see you.
How's that?
That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
I saw you did that.
More cord.
We would like to, first of all, thank Fess for giving Marcy an excuse to have another great party. And wish Fess a very, very, very special and happy birthday. And we love him so much. We love him so much that we're going to do something really corny and stupid for him. That is perhaps one of the reasons we all get to be here. So, without further ado, what is it?
I have a helicopter on my head.
Is it gone? Oh, it was a big cricket. Actually, maybe you should wear this first.
No, I couldn't compete with
Yes?
He said it never looked better.
it. It was a nice recovery, wasn't it? Could have been a lot worse. It might get a lot worse.
Can I have a step stool? Where's my booster chair?
Okay.
Okay.
Daniel Boone was a man. Yes, a big man. Well, I like an eagle and tall as was he. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man. Yes, a big man. He was brave, he was fearless, he was tough as a mighty oak tree.
From the boom skin cap at the top of Old Dam to the heel of his rawhide shoe. He's a ripping, he's a roaring, he's a fighting this man. Frontier Avenue.
Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to keep all Americans free. What a Boone, what a do, what a dream come true was he. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, with a hoop and a hoe, he can mow down a forest of trees. Oh, Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man. If he frowned at a river in July, all the water would freeze.
Dear. Wait, because these lyrics are very important. If we crowned at a river in July, all the water would freeze. Sorry.
Remember how we were
Yeah, we actually did rehearse, believe it or not.
the house all 5 nights in a row rehearsing this show.
Okay, sorry. But a piece of old pioneer fellow was dead. When he smiled, all the ice would thaw. The singingest, laughingest, happiest man the frontier ever saw.
Yes, a big man, and he fought for America to keep all Americans free. What a Boone, what a do, what a dream come true. Boone, what a do, what a dream come true. Boone, what a do, what a dream come true. What's he? You're all going to help us because there's going to be a line that you're all going to know. So here's something you know. Just chime right in.
All right.
Cheryl and Brian, that is just wonderful, and I can't resist this. Over here is Noli Walsh Fishman. Her husband, deceased about 22 years ago, I'm sad to say, was the producer of Davy Crockett, and he was the inspiration for that little kid.
Sheet back to the apartment, and he played it on his guitar, and he said, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think it stinks." And boy, did he make a fool out of me. Several other artists made a fool out of me. Anyhow, you're on there.
Very good. Listen, who else feels Glenn Marshman, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Want to take it off?
Yeah. Want to take it off?
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. I was this year. I shouldn't be part of it. I'm just a hacker from Boston that talks funny. Lived in the Valley for 23 years, and I just thrilled to be here and hope to come back to Fess's 74th birthday. Fess, happy 73rd. But I will try to croon a couple of old tunes, and I'm sure perhaps you youngsters will remember these. It's impossible. Tell the sun to leave the sky. It's just impossible. It's impossible. Ask a baby not to cry. It's just impossible. When I hold you nearer to me and then feel you going through me, split the second that I never think of you. It's just impossible. Can the ocean keep from rushing to the shore? It's just impossible. If I had you, could I ever ask for more? It's just impossible. And tomorrow, if you ask me for the world, somehow I get it. I would sell my very soul and not forget it. For to live without your love would be impossible. 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 Unforgettable. Unforgettable. That's what they'll say. Like a song of love that clings to me. How that thought of you does things to me never before. Has someone been more unforgettable in every way? And forevermore, that's what they'll say. Darling, that's what comes about to me. That's a
And I met another fellow there, and his name was Phil Kendrick, and I haven't got the slightest idea what they're going to do. But, fellas, the floor is yours. Phil Kendrick.
Phil Kendrick.
And Jimmy Toe. Phil Kendrick.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have Jimmy out here, believe me. Well, it's a real pleasure to be here and say howdy from Abilene, Texas. Quite a few of us here from Abilene, Texas, and Buffalo Gap is 15 miles south of Abilene, Texas. So we kind of include Buffalo Gap in this. And you say, well, what does Abilene, Texas and Buffalo Gap have to do with all this? Well, Fess Parker used to live in Abilene, Texas. And, I'm real glad to see my good friend Bart Kennedy here. Bart was a young writer with Paramount about 40 years ago, and I spent all his savings in an oil deal he invested in. And it was a great oil well. It lasted about 2 weeks. But Bart, you've gone on to bigger and better things, and maybe that oil well wasn't what you were meant to get into. I came in the other night. Several of us came in from Abilene, and we came into Santa Barbara, and we got in about 1 o'clock Abilene time. And I told the travel agent, I said, now, it's going to be a long, hard trip. And I said, get me a hotel that's the closest you can get me to the airport, because we want to go to bed and want to get a good night's sleep. So we did. It was a Holiday Inn. And the next morning I got the courtesy van to take me to the airport to rent a car. And we're headed to the airport. He said, well, where are you from? I said, Abilene, Texas. Oh, yeah, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm here to go to Fess Parker's birthday party. You know Fess Parker? And I said, yeah, I do. How'd you know him? I said, well, he's one of my best friends. Fess Parker's one of your best friends? I said, yeah. How come you're staying at the Holiday Inn then? And I said, well, the DoubleTree, it costs $295 a night. And the Holiday Inn's $80 with breakfast. He said, look, if Fess Parker's your best friend, then he's not going to charge you to stay at the DoubleTree. I said, you don't know my best friend, Fess Parker. But anyway, you all know Fess Parker is a famous actor and singer. I'm one of the few people here that goes back to when he couldn't act and he couldn't sing. I was in high school when I first met Fess. I think I was 14 or 15 years old. I was in all the plays, all the musicals. In fact, I was named the outstanding high school actor in the state of Texas. Margot Jones of the famous little theater in the Round in Dallas. And I was in the all-state high school players. I had the lead in the play that was directed by Stacy Keats Sr. I knew acting. I knew all about acting. I was an expert, right? Went on to the University of Texas. I starred in all of the plays down there. And Fess would come back and say, Phil, you're a terrific actor and singer. And gee, I really envy you being able to do all these things. And I said, well, Fess, it's just, one of those things. Either you got it or you don't have it. I was in all the drama. I had to lead in all of the productions at the University of Texas. Even though I was majoring in geology and business. In fact, some of the people that were there were Tommy Jones and Harvey Schmidt, who wrote the Fantastics, and that great song, Try to Remember, which Ed Ames has done a record of, and Pat Dingle, and many others. And I didn't expect any of them to ever amount to anything, to tell you the truth. But and he couldn't sing. I remember when we would go to serenade, the turn to go to serenade the sororities, he'd always stand next to me, so I could keep on key. And I was shocked when Fess told me just before we were getting ready to graduate. He said, you know, I decided I'm not going to be a lawyer. I said, oh, really? No, I'm going to Hollywood and I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to be a recording artist. I said, Fess, you can't do that. I mean, go ahead and go with that girl to Arkansas whose father's invited you to become part of his oil company. I mean, that makes sense. Going out there to Hollywood. No way, man. No way. He said, well, you know, he's a stubborn, hard-headed guy. And he said, oh, no, that's what I'm going to do. I said, well, okay. It was a waste of time, I'll tell you that. We go down to Hollywood. He's in a couple of shows, you know, and he gets in one of these things with Randolph Scott, I think. I don't remember the name of the movie. His dad went down to the Paramount Theater, told the manager, said, my son Fess is going to be in this Randolph Scott movie that's coming to town. Oh, yeah. So it came into town, I don't remember the name of the movie. On the marquee, it says, whatever the name of the show was, starring Randolph Scott and Fess Parker. Well, we all went down to see it, and, you know, we said, well, there he is. No, that's not him. Is that him? No. Well, maybe he's one of the Indians. We never saw Fess. But he was on the marquee as being the co-star of Randolph Scott. But he kept getting into other things, and pretty soon, he hit the biggie. Walt Disney hired him to be David Crockett, and then he became one of the most famous actors in the world. He was known all over the world. He invited me to go on tour just to prove, you know, that he really was successful. And every town we went to, the newspaper headline, the largest crowds that have ever witnessed an actor in this town, in this city. I mean, he was drawing crowds like you couldn't believe. Every kid had on a coonskin cap. And it was all over the world like that. I've never seen such a phenomenon as Fess Parker. He was absolutely a tremendous success. And his ballad of Davy Crockett, his record, it sold more records than any record at that time other than Bing Crosby's Silent Night. And I told him he couldn't sing without me standing next to him.
Still can't, Phil.
And not only that, but he went on to star in a national tour of Oklahoma, and he sang the lead as Curly in a national tour. So he was in a Broadway musical. He did everything he said he was going to do. And I said he couldn't do it because, you know, I was the expert. I never got out of Abilene, Texas, you know, and the Abilene Community Theater, and that was about it. But anyway, Fess has had a great career. He didn't know anything about hotels. He owns one of the he built and owns one of the best hotels in the nation. Didn't know anything about wineries. Now owns one of the best wineries in the nation. The guy couldn't do a thing. He got it all. I tell you, I've known him a long time. Nobody's known. I doubt that I'm sure there's no one here that's known Fess longer than I have. I have never seen him drunk. I've never seen him take a drug or ever heard of him taking drugs. Every girl he ever went with, he did nothing but compliment them. I never heard him use any foul language in my life. And I've known him since I was 14 years of age. He once asked me, he said, Phil, why don't you go to Hollywood and be an actor? And I said, oh. You know, if I went out there and became a famous actor, I'd probably be married and divorced 10 times. And I said, Fess, the way the girls go for you in high school and university, if you got out there and became a famous actor, you'd be married and divorced 20 times. But you all know he's only been married one time. He's never been divorced. He and Marcy Ryan raised two wonderful children, Ashley and Eli. He's been a great family man. He's been a great example to everyone in the movie business and what have you, and in the business community. And I want to give a little singing toast to my friend Fess. And I know it's one that you all can join in with me. He's a jolly good fellow. Everybody join in. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. Which nobody can he couldn't have accomplished all these things all by himself. He met Marcy Reinhardt, a little country girl from Iowa. The very summer he got the part from David Crockett. And I know that he couldn't have done everything he's done without her at his side. She had a tremendous future as a singer. She was a beautiful girl, and she had one of the most beautiful voices I've ever heard, or anybody's ever heard. You heard her tonight. And she gave up that career so she could be the wife of Fess Parker and support him in everything he did and raise his children. It turned out terrific, Eli and Ashley. And I think we ought to sing a little toast to Marcy Parker.
Yeah.
Go into a room with a lot of women, they'd all flock to Fess, and I'd stand by and be very envious. But then one time, he and I competed for the same girl. And she couldn't make up her mind which one she was going to end up with, and so we decided, well, we'll force the issue. We'll make her decide which one of us she's going to be with. And so we decided we'd both propose to her the same night. And so we did. And guess who she decided? Neither one of us. She ran out with the Beach Boy that same night. So for a couple of nights, at least 2 nights, we cried in our beer and we sang this song. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came and took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. Her kisses I miss so. He's getting now, I know. But I know that she'd come back to me if she could see her broken-hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my gal. Somebody stole my pal. Somebody came and took her away. She didn't even say she was leaving. Her kisses I miss so. He's getting now, I know. But I know that she'll come back to me if she could see her broken-hearted, lonesome pal. Somebody stole my gal. Okay, I'm not through. I want Fess and Marty and Jimmy Tittle to come up here and we're going to sing a song we all can sing.
I think this has gone on long enough that you can see that Phil can't sing a lick without somebody beside him.
All right.
First place, I'd like Lynn to stand up again. Lynn, where are you? Yeah, you really do speak funny. I want you to know.
Eyes of Texas are upon you. All the live long day. The eyes of
You can tell Abilene, Texas was not a dull place. You know, I'm old. Yes, I saw a fella come in here with a straw hat, sort of flat thing on the top. Could Phil come back up here, Phil, while I get this hat for this fella, you know? I think. Okay?
Yeah, all right. Now, what is it you'd like me to do while you're doing it?
Just talk.
Just talk, okay. Jimmy, come up here while he's getting that hat. Jimmy and I have had a lot of fun down through the years singing a few songs. While he's getting the hat, let's do it. Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How about cooking something up with me? Well, hey, sweet lady, I don't you think maybe we could find the brand new recipe? I got a hot one for and two coffee. I know a spot right over here. Soda pop and dancing free. If you wanna have fun, come along. Hey, well, how about cooking something up with me? Oh, I'm on so my take the over fence. 5, 1, 4, 5, and 6. Keep it till it covers 8. All right, girl, ain't got everything.
Don Forsyth, ladies and gentlemen.
Lovely ladies, kind gentlemen, good evening. I thought that I would put, with your indulgence, a little 3-4 minute kind of birthday tribute to one of my heroes, Mr. Parker. I was going to buy him some wine, but I said, what the hell? It's awfully difficult for me to ask you to make believe that I am Maurice Chevalier, that great French entertainer. It's tough, believe me. But I'm kind of a reasonable facsimile, at least tonight, with my friends getting me the gear. And what I'd like you to do is, for a moment, just imagine that I'm walking through a beautiful park on a lazy Sunday afternoon in a mythical city called Paris. So, here we go. We're in Paris at the turn of the century, 1903 to be exact. The weather in the park is glorious. It's a perfect day. In the distance, in the far distance, we can hear the slow clip-clop of a horse and carriage. And in the huge grassy meadow, there is an occasional family resting from having devoured a sizable picnic lunch. There are a couple of half bottles of Beaujolais, all right too. And all around there are young people, young lovers, walking hand in hand, whispering little secrets, embracing, whispering secrets not meant for anyone else's ears. And then the children. Oh my, the children, the future, the children. They're brown boys running around, wrestling, laughing and shouting. And there, starched, well-ironed. They are adorable. And they are laughing and playing games and rolling hoops. And all of them giggling and laughing. All of them so full of life, so full of joy. That's why I always say, thank heaven for little girls grow bigger every day. Thank heaven for little girls, they grow up in the most remarkable way. Those little eyes, so helpless and appealing, one day will flash and send you crashing through the ceiling. Thank heaven for little girls. Thank heavens for them all, no matter where, no matter who. Without them, what would little boys do? Thank heaven. Thank heaven. Thank heavens for little girls.
John, that was wonderful.
It was.
You know, we have so many people here with talent. I hate to just sort of, and I very much enjoy that. Lynn, is that your name? That's my hometown too, you know. I'm from Boston as well.
You talk funny too, man.
I do. I knew you were from, I figured you're Irish because you're wearing a green sweater. But I knew you were from Boston when I heard you say, I can't. And what was on the mere idea of you. I suspected. And of course the old Daniel Boone song. Daniel Boone was a man, yes a big man. Terrific. I love the way you sang that too. And your husband too. So having made all my thank yous, good night. I didn't have, now I heard about all the people who did a lot of rehearsing for this. Unfortunately, I didn't get that. And not to mention, of course, the beautiful songs of Marcy. So beautiful. You were wonderful tonight. May I say that? I came up here, you know, I was told that we're going to have sort of a Western Texas style night at the barbecue. Beautiful job, by the way. And so I figured I ought to dress for the occasion.
Great.
And I think I look pretty snappy tonight. All the Texas fellas are dressed like dudes. They're all, look at them. They're all got suits and ties. And there's a lonely old horse in Utah that's very cold and chilly tonight. But Marcy asked me to sing one of her favorite songs. It was written by two gentlemen from the University of Texas, contemporaries of Fess and all the other Texas cohorts. It's the song from the Fantastics. So, by Tom Jones and Harvey Schmidt. This is not it, however. That's the left. Oh, I think you do it in F or G. Try G. Whichever is easier for you. Well, thank you. John? No, it's a little off now. Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so December, it's nice to remember, although the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember, without a light, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and The last time, a few weeks ago, when we were up here, I introduced my friends to my beautiful intended lady. Some of you have met her tonight, Jeannie Alexander. And I insisted that she sing a song with me. She has been a wonderful entertainer. She's a singer. She's had big records and an actress. And after I made her do it, I said, boy, I'm going to get it tonight. And she said, no, you're not. If you, with a little encouragement, I think we can get Jeannie up there. Come on, Jeannie. You ready?
God, I didn't know it last time and I don't know it this time. Cheryl Ladd gave us walking papers last time. You go home and you guys work up something. Because next time, I don't want to see what you did up there. You understand? And
I don't think you're mine. Will you agree?
Okay,
That's
Cheryl,
what we're
it's okay,
doing.
Cheryl. Okay, Cheryl, I didn't rehearse.
Neither did I. I give
To you,
and
you give to me.
true love. So on and on it will
Always be.
No, there's a lot.
I don't.
True love for you and I have a guardian angel, for I with nothing to do but to give to me and to give to you. Love forever. True.
And honey,
Yes.
you're not going to get it again.
I know. I heard you playing Fly Me to the Moon. Do you have Do you? I'm not sure I know the verse well. I'll just. Poets often use many words to say a simple phrase. You can just noodle behind it. Poets often use many words to say a simple phrase. It takes time and rhyme to make a lyric play. With music and words I've been playing to sing this simple song, but so that you'll understand what I'm saying, I'll translate as I go along. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. You are all I long for, to Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Now, Harvey Jones and Tom Schmidt, Tom Jones and Harvey Schmidt, Fess's buddies from Texas, wrote another show. They did a fantastic, they wrote a show called 110 in the Shade. And in that show is a song which I recorded. It didn't become a hit record, but it's still one of my favorite songs. And I'm going to sing this song especially for Fess and for Marcy. And I would like to add one thing to Phil about all the qualities of this gentleman that we all love. We worked together, for quite a few years under very trying circumstances. You can imagine we were exposed to the elements, the pressures of show business and all. And in all that time, I never, ever once heard him say an unkind word or give an unkind look or do anything to anybody on the set that wasn't congenial and friendly and loving. And that's a lot to say after 5 or 6 years of slaving away on the hot frontier. And Marcy, of course, is as loving a person as you could ever meet. And I think it's wonderful that they've been together all this time. And I'm going to sing a song for the two of you now. And as I sing it for you, I'm going to hope that Jeannie and I can have the same time together that you did. It's this song here. Give me a little arpeggio. It's in tempo. It's in tempo.
Well, I've seen it.
Poor Bill, I threw him a curve. We didn't have a chance to rehearse. That was a terrific build-up of the song, wasn't it? Yeah. Too bad, wasn't it?
I know we won't be disappointed.
No, it's in Ed, E flat. Bill did a terrific job for everyone else. Leave it over in my hand. Well, let me see. That says Ed in C.
Ed.
It's not E flat, it's Ed.
I don't know. Ed.
Oh boy. Can we get somebody to hold the music? Sit on the piano?
It's really a beautiful song. I think it's worth it. That's,
Does that sound about right?
yeah. Ready? It's in tempo. A man and a woman can be so close together that they almost become like one. They promise to love till life is done. A man and a woman can be part of each other, and though troubles may come and go, the love that they have inside will grow. Hard times come, but that's all right. You know that you will pull through. As long as you have each other, there's nothing you can't do. And the man and the woman who are so close together will be closer as time goes by, as long as they both are willing to try. And the man and the woman can be so close together till they die. Hard times come, back to the middle, but that's all right. You know that you'll pull through, as long as you have each other. There's nothing you can't do. And the man and the woman who are so close together will grow closer as time grows by, as long as you both are willing to try. And the man and the woman will grow closer until the day they die. Oh, you got the sheet. We got the sheet music for this. Let's hear it for Bill. He's having a tremendous task. It goes about like this. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest,
You know, I don't mean to end the evening, but I have to say this because I feel it right now. I am the luckiest fellow in the world. I said today, and I don't say this often because I'm not really religious, I don't go to church that much, but it struck me today that God has been awfully good to me.
Amen.
And here I am with my wife and my family, my grandson, son and daughter, 9 grandchildren, good health, good prospects, and the best thing in the world, our friends. And there's hardly anyone here tonight that I've known for any length of time that hasn't been a great help to me and a help to my family. So I would just like to finish by saying that old friends and new friends, this is 73 birthdays, and it's the best one I ever had. Thank you.
I just want to take 1 second, and believe me, this definitely wasn't rehearsed. Living proof that, at least for this guy, there was no genetic pass down when it comes to song. But I think there's one song that we've definitely forgotten this evening. We've heard some beautiful, beautiful music, but on Happy Birthday, I think Happy Birthday is only appropriate. So before we start though, Fred Rice back there said he would come up and help me out, and Ashley, his daughter, and my sister I know will come up here, and Lorene, Christopher, come on, everybody up here, and let's do a big happy birthday, okay? Come on, Lorene. Come on. Okay, here we go. Fred, come on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
So where's the
Ashley, are you going to do a song, kid? Let's do a song. Ashley, get up here. Come on. Let's do a song, Ashley.
I have no idea what to do.
Cheryl? Yeah?
Okay. Is he amazing? It's like, come on, Carol. I think I need you. Come on, we can do this. I'll even lower the mic for you.
Well, I'll do this.
You guys work for a second.
Huh?
Do you have the key and everything?
Oh,
I was going to just tell a quick joke.
What's a
So
key?
you guys can rehearse. I was just going to tell one quick fast joke so they can just kind of get comfortable. Mr. and Mrs. O'Reilly are sitting together one afternoon, and Mr. and Mrs. O'Reilly are sitting there, and Mr. O'Reilly's watching a telly. And Mrs. O'Reilly, she stands up and she goes over to the door. And she's putting on her bonnet and she's buttoning up her coat. And Mr. O'Reilly looks up from the telly and he says, "So, Mrs. O'Reilly, where are you off to?" "Well," she says, "I'm off for my yearly checkup." "Oh, aye," and off she goes. About an hour goes by. Mrs. O'Reilly comes in the door. She takes off her bonnet. She unbuttons her coat. Little smile on her face. Mr. O'Reilly looks up from the telly and says, "So, Mrs. O'Reilly, how was your yearly checkup?" Oh, lovely, she said. Lovely, did you say? Hi, she says, it was lovely. Oh, well, what did this fine doctor have to say then? She said, well, he said I had lovely hair for a woman of my age. Oh, did he now? What else did this fine doctor have to say then? Well, she said, he said I had lovely skin for a woman of my age. Oh, did he now? What else did this fine doctor have to say then? Well, she says, he said I had lovely breasts for a woman of my age. Oh, did he now? Well, what did he say about your fat Irish ass? Funny, she says, your name never came up.
Sorry, some of you have heard me sing this before. I do know other songs, but just not right now. Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I can't sing with a microphone. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted. And then someday you leave me for somebody new. Why do I let myself worry? You go, girl. Wondering what in the world did I do? I'm crazy for thinking that my love could hold you. Too sober. I'm crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for loving you. Crazy for trying and crazy for crying, and I'm crazy for being up here, basically. I think you definitely have to do that.
Don't worry.
You already did, remember?
Don't worry. I'm not going to follow this crowd. I'll tell
Finish
you.
strong. Finish strong.
I would just like to, to tell you that we're so fortunate in this community to have Ian Bernard, Ian and Hank, you're doing the jazz earlier this evening, and then Bill Powell hasn't been able to get a steady job, so he sings at Alisol for 29 years. Bill is a secret weapon around here. And, and I would just like to say thank you. There are people here, Dan Gainey, who sort of led the way, piqued our interest about this wine business, and then the Rice family over here, Sunstone. Our staff here has worked real hard for this party, and I really appreciate that. And of course, Tom Perini and Boo Hauser and Lee and Randy, everyone done a good job. And last but definitely not least is my boss, Fess Parker.
And let me tell you, his boss is going to say, thank you to Jed and Marie Steele,
Yes.
who have been wonderful, wonderful to this family, and in particular our son, and our lovely winemaker Eli, and his wife Laureen.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a story? You guys, Anybody know Park? I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then I'll say goodnight, and Barbie can go on, but I go to bed early. When Ed and I were doing the pilot for Daniel Boone, he had just done One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest on Broadway, and we were over at Fox, and we were trying to do this pilot film, and Marcy and Mary Rice had gone into Los Angeles to do something, do some shopping, and I didn't even know she was around.
We're looking for a house.
Looking for a house. Okay, I didn't know what you were doing. She was optimistic that the pilot would sell, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, one night we were working very late, and Ed and I didn't get off the set until about 9 o'clock, and Marcy had called me and said that she and Mary were still in town and would we have dinner with her and so on. And with Mary.
I want to be there.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we arranged to do that, and when Ed and I got off the set, we went over to this little restaurant on Santa Monica, I believe it was, and there was a fine pianist there. And Marcy and Ed started to sing at the bar, and they had a good time, and about 1 o'clock, we said goodnight. Ed went his way, and by that time, Mary and Marcy had no place to stay. So I said, I have a motel down the street, and I have a double bed. And
2 double beds.
yeah, 2 double beds. Well, I did have a double bed. I didn't get a chance to say there was another one. And I said, Mary can stay there. And so they agreed to do that. And so we went over there, and we all got in bed. Mary was in her bed, and Marcy and I was in the other one. And about 2:30 in the morning, the phone rang, and it was Fred, her husband. He said, do you know where Mary is? I said, yes, I do. He said, well, where is she? And I said, do you want to speak to her? He said, yeah. So I handed it. I said, here, Mary, speak to her. Well, it's been the funniest family joke for years. And tonight, I thank Fred because he sent me some pictures of our children growing up and things that I haven't shown Eli and Ashley, but they're wonderful. And Mary Rice was one of the Princess Court for, the, what do you call that, Fred? What do they do every first day? Yeah, the Tournament of Roses. So she was in the running for the Queen, and she should have been the Queen. But at any rate, Fred sent me all these pictures with a thing. He said, do you have any pictures of the night you spent with my wife? Listen, thanks again. Does anybody here want to do they feel the urge to sing a song or to ask someone else for some entertainment? If not, what's that?
You're on, Cheryl.
Cheryl, would you do another song? Please. Good luck. I want to hear Brian and Ed do Old Man River before we go.
Yeah, that was going to be mine. I'll sing one more for you, Fess, if Brian and Ed do Old Man River for us. It's unbelievable.
Barry tonight.
Yeah, very.
He's okay. He's okay. I'll go use the turn. It's faster and more. Okay.
I wined and dined on Mulligan's stew, let out a wishful turkey, as I hitched and hiked and drifted too, from Maine to Albuquerque. Alas, I missed the Beaux-Arts ball, and what is twice as sad, I was never at a party that honored no kind, but social circles spin too fast for me. My whole Bohemia is the place to be. How can you be outside and have no air? I get too hungry for daylight. I like a clean up but then come late. love Marcy Parker's voice so much because when I was growing up and I first started to love music, I grew up on country western music pretty much, but then I was exposed to some wonderful jazz singers and Sarah Vaughan, and Marcy reminds me so much of Sarah Vaughan and that wonderful, smoky, real, easy sound of her voice. And the first time I heard her sing, I got tears in my eyes, and I had no idea that she could sing like that. And we've been connected cosmically ever since. And I just feel like I'm very connected to you musically, and you and Fess have been so wonderful to Brian and I. And Brian, I don't know if some of you know this, but they threw a wonderful citizenship party for Brian, who is an American and proud to be. And it was a wonderful special night. And on that night, I did a song. She got me up here to sing with her, and I did a song that I'd like to do for you now. That is maybe my favorite verse and kind of silly song from the old days that says, in a very kind of quirky, funny way, what love's all about. He's a fool, and don't I know it, but a fool can hide his charm. I'm in love, and don't I show it like a baby in arms. Love's the same old sad sensation. Lately, I've not slept a wink since that half-pint invitation put me on the brink. I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. I couldn't sleep, I wouldn't sleep till love came and told me I shouldn't sleep. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. And lost my heart, but what of it? He's a fool, I agree. He can laugh, and I love it, although the laugh's on me. And I cling to him, each spring to him, and long for the day I can sing to him. I'm bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Okay. I don't know about y'all, but I gotta hear Old Man River. Come on, fellas. Get these big boy voices up here and let's hear it. And Jeannie, just to set the record straight,
Yes.
when you sang last time with your intended,
Yes.
I thought it was so wonderful. I just wanted to hear more of it.
This gentleman has a voice that's lower than John L. Lewis.
Second verse.
Then we should go to the wonderful bass voice. They put together an arrangement. You got any more stories, Phil? Then we'll go into it. I don't know if I can keep up with him. We've got a big arrangement going here. You all set tonight? Do you know this song? Yeah, pretty much. You know what? Forget it. He knows the song. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Here we all work on the Mississippi. Here we all work while the white folks play. Sailing them boats from the dawn till sunset. Getting no rest till the judgment day. Let me go away from the Mississippi. Let me go away from the white man walls. Let me go down to the river Jordan. Let me go down where I long to cross. Old man river, that old man river, he don't say nothing, but he must know something. That keeps on growing, he just keeps on growing. He don't plant potatoes, and he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them is soon forgotten. But old man river, he just keeps growing along. You and me, we sweat and strain, bodies all aching and racked with pain. Choked and washed and live and rail. You get a little drunk and you land in grows weary and sick crying. I'm tired of living and fear of dying. But old man river, he just